Joining me now is Carol Swain, former professor at Princeton and Vanderbilt Universities, author of Be the People, A Call to Reclaim America's Faith and Promise. Carol, your thoughts on the angle?
Well, first of all, I have been studying race relations for many years. And what I saw back in 2002 when I published a different book was that the old style white supremacists, where white people believed that they were superior to other groups, that was waning. And I saw that multiculturalism, the language of political identity that the university campuses were pushing, that it was backfiring and it was creating a dangerous double standard. And so even back in 1995, there were people at Harvard and NYU that were talking about abolishing the white race. And so all of the stuff that we see now reaching the public schools, it's been around for a long time. It's related to Marxism. And we can criticize Black Lives Matter, but the blame lies at the feet of the white liberal professors who have brought in Black students to indoctrinate them in all of this stuff in the African American studies programs and all of those little ghetto studies programs where they just teach racism. And so systemic racism is not the problem in America. Racism is a problem, but it's coming from the political left, and it's been turned upside down.
Carol, one thing that is clear is that the business of anti-Black racism, so it's not just racism, it's anti-Black racism. That's the language that's used. It's big business. Ibram Kendi is I don't know him personally. He could be an amazingly great person, but he is the mastermind behind much of the new modern anti-racism push. And now he's looking at law schools, saying the crux of the solution will be law and policy. Those who are studying law, who become policymakers, will be at the forefront of creating an anti-racist society. Carol, aren't lawyers are supposed to be faithful to the Constitution, equal protection under the law? We already have that in our founding document.
Well, they have deviated from that a long time ago. And the greatest threat to American society today, I would argue, is coming from the diversity, equity, inclusion industry. It is steeped in critical race theory, which is Marxist. It divides people. And when they talk about anti-racism, they're really talking about teaching white people to hate themselves, especially the young ones. And when you think about what is taking place on college campuses and also now in K-12, children are being bullied, they're being shamed, teachers are being encouraged to teach nonsense, and it's fighting racism, it's helping racial and ethnic minorities. It's really harming everyone's child.
Well, Carol, I will say in closing that we were able to reach various parents who are having to deal with this BLM feel guilty about who you are curriculum. They're afraid to come on. They're afraid of what's going to happen to their son or daughter in school. They're afraid of having their son or daughter targeted or perhaps not be able to get into a college. So people are afraid to question this new prevailing thought that's steeped in Marxism, and I think at its core is very racist. I think there's a lot of racism imbued in the anti-racism curriculum.
It is, and I think that what is taking place is really a violation of the Equal Protection Clause and some civil rights laws, and the law should be on the side of the parents, and it's time for our legislators to step up, and also minorities, racial and ethnic minorities like me, who know what's taking place is wrong. Yeah, we have to speak up.
It's big business.
To us to stand.
People have to understand this is big business. People are getting paid $20,000 to give a virtual 30-minute talk to the Fairfax County Public Schools. Okay, so big money is being made off this, and a lot of corporations just bowing right down, as are schools. Carol, great to see you tonight.